Ever thought selling rock can make you millions, or selling glasses for dogs can create a fortune, or even worse, flipping some glitter to your enemies made over 20,000 in just few days? Well, these are not just made up stories. These are true stories of people who turn crazy ideas into a gold mine. So today we are counting down 7 of these craziest ideas that looked absurd but made millions. Starting with number 7, pet rock. Imagine selling rocks and making millions. Yeah, you heard it right. Just by selling stones, a man called Gary made millions. In 1975, a man named Gary was listening to his friends complain about their pets. So he thought through and told them he had a perfect pet called a rock. So what he did was he packed an ordinary stone in a little box with 8 holes in it, and he also added a manual inside the box, and he called it a pet rock. In just 6 months, Gary sold over 1.5 million pet rocks or 1.5 million ordinary stones for about 4 each, making him instant millionaire.
It's been incredible. We mailed our first pet rocks to the stores October 1st, and by Christmas we'll have sold well over 1 million units.
Moving on to number 6, fidget spinners. I think all of you remember spinners, tiny, addictive toys. You just couldn't stop them spinning. In 2017, for a few wild months, it felt like everyone on the planet had one. This toy actually started as a stress relief gadget, but it exploded into a $1 million business overnight.
I want this one.
And while everyone was busy spinning, countless manufacturers made fortunes overnight.
Get a lot of calls all day. Do you have spinners in stock? You have spinners in stock.
In just few months, spinners generated over 500 million in sales, and some early manufacturers made millions just by flipping those little toys. Moving to number 5, $1 million homepage. Before diving into this, just a quick question. If you are a student and needed to pay your university fees, what would you do? You might ask your parents for help, or maybe try to get a loan. But you probably wouldn't think to do what Alex did. The year is 2005, and Alex is a broke student. And he comes up with a simple idea. It was so simple, but it was so insane. He created the $1 million homepage, a single blank web page with a grid of 1 million pixels. His offer? Anyone could buy a tiny dot of his homepage for just $1. That's it. No product, no service, just a pixel. And the internet went crazy. Companies and advertisers scrambled to buy their own tiny piece of internet history. In just 4 months, Alex sold every single pixel, turning a blank screen into over $1 million. Number 4, Flappy Bird. It might be one of the few games that everyone played and everyone hated. One button, ridiculously hard, insanely addictive. And that's Flappy Bird. While players were losing their minds, the creator was making a fortune. In 2013, this simple mobile game became a global obsession. At its peak, Vietnamese developer Dong was earning 50,000 a day from just ads alone. But in a shocking move, right at the heights of his success, Dong deleted Flappy Bird from every app store, walking away from one of the most profitable apps ever made. Moving on to number 3, Big Mouth Billy Bass. Imagine this, a plastic fish hanging on your wall. Suddenly, it turns its head, looks at you and starts singing. That was Big Mouth Billy Bass. In the late 90s, this bizarre creation became the ultimate gag gift. It was everywhere, in living rooms, offices, and even in the White House. And for some, it might be incredibly annoying, and for some, they were going crazy over it, and it created a sales phenomenon. The singing fish sold over 20 million units, making its creator a fortune. Moving on to number 2, Doggles. Imagine this, sunglasses for dogs. You might think that's a joke, but it is actually a multi-million dollar business.
The idea for Doggles was a walk in the park.
I originally came up with the idea for my border collie Midnight.
After that, she designed and patented protective eyewear just for dogs and called them brilliantly Doggles. The idea was so unique, it caught on like wildfire, making Doggles as a multi-million dollar company, selling in over 16 countries. And get this, they are even used by the US military to protect their working dog in the desert. Moving on to the last one, shipyourendmates.glitter.com. Do you hate someone or just want to seriously annoy them? Here is an idea, glitter. In 2015, a 22-year-old named Matthew Carpenter launched a prank website called clipyourenemysglitter.com. For just $10, you could send an envelope filled with glitter to anyone you hated. Once they open the envelope, the glitter spills and it is so hard to clean the mess. The idea exploded overnight. Within a few days, the site made over 20,000 in orders. But the prank backfired on him. He was buried in glitter, angry emails, and chaos. He even begged for people to stop ordering, and a week later, we sold the site for $85,000. So, from rocks to pixels to singing fish, these stories prove that a fortune can be made in the most unexpected places. But the one thing all these stories have in common is that someone was brave enough to try something weird. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe so you don't miss our deep dive into some of these stories. I will see you next week.